Nickelodeon.
Hello and welcome to Painted Haint Summerween. We are going to talk about episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's why I'm wearing my shirt. As you can see, got it on Amazon. So excited to have it. So the first episode we're going to start out with is, I have my notes right here, The Tale of the Captured Souls. So the Tale of the Captured Souls follows this girl called Danny and her family, and they are on a vacation up at this lake, and already Danny is like not with it. Like, she's like, no, I don't want to be here. I told y'all let's go to the beach. Why are we here? And I love how the parents are always so oblivious in these children's television shows. Like, the parents are just like, oh, Danny, and they're black. Like, you know, we can say stuff like that. But anyways, it's because it's Canada. Maybe it's different. So anyways, like I said, Danny is not with it. And she is really not with it when she meets the caretaker of the home, who is, I called him Great Value.
It's the skin of the killer, bro.
Like, that boy looked like he was dipped in white lily flower and ready to be served up with a side of okra. That's how pale he is. And he just has like Edward Cullen before the vampiric glow up look. But he's the caretaker of the house. And Danny, of course, is suspicious because she's just like, wait, your parents aren't here? And he's like, no, Danny, my parents are not here. Like, he's real robotic now, you know. So as the trip progresses, Danny starts to notice that Great Value Edward Cullen, his name is Peter, is getting weaker and weaker. Like, they're playing ball and he's like, oh, I can't throw. And so she's like, okay, why don't you go lay down? But in all this, actually no, she doesn't know why don't you go lay down. She calls him lame or something. So she uses some 90s slur that the kids used back then. Like, I wasn't a kid back then. Anyways, so she notices, like I said, that he's weaker, and in all of this, she notices her parents, or rather, when he goes in, and a couple days later, I think it's over the course of a few days, she notices that her parents are starting to appear old, and her face is breaking out. You know what's creepy, and I think it's now hitting me about that episode. Like, it's not the scariest episode by any means, but so her face is breaking out, and I think it just hit me. She's like, every time she goes to look in the mirror and she touches the glass or touches the edge of the mirror, her finger, like, she cuts her finger or pokes her finger. So what I'm thinking, and see, now it's getting creepy now that it's hitting me. What is happening is Peter is using her blood and probably her parents' blood to get younger. He's a vampire, but like in a mad scientist sense, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. So anyways, she's figuring out something's off, and then she finds Great Value Edward Cullen's room, and she's like, what the like, she accidentally hits a button and all this like mad scientist-ish comes out. She's like, okay, we gotta get out of here. So she goes to get her parents, and her parents are like, they are like old. Like, I swear, I can't even think of that. Like, they're older. They're appearing older. And they're like taking naps. So they're on like that, like, bedridden type old. And so she's trying to get them to come out to leave, but they're not like really listening. They just want to take a nap. And so she decides that she's got to do something about this if they're not going to leave. And so she goes back up to Great Value Edward Cullen. We're just going to call him that. His room. And they get to fighting because he's like, what are you doing in my room or whatever? And she's like, nah, I'm finna straighten this out. And he's like I said, they get to fighting, and she pushes him in his Stefan machine. Listen, if you know that reference, have you considered Colonial paying as your insurance? Because you are. Everything gets reversed, and Peter, that's his name, grows old, and they leave the house. Everything's basically resolved. And I got a feeling, though, that our boy Peter had found his Bella, if you catch my drift, in Danny, because he's like, we can be friends and all sorts of stuff, and she's just like, no. And I don't think she caught the same feelings, though, because when they leave, her dad is like, who is that old guy up in the window? Because I guess it wiped their memory as well. And Danny just straight up says, some lonely old man. Cold-blooded for the 90s. So that is, what's that episode called again? The Tale of the Captured Souls. Next week, we are going to be hopefully in Savannah for my birthday, and I'm going to tell you about one historical story from Savannah and two of my very own personal stories from Savannah. So I will see you then. Also, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Share if you want. Sorry if I was rambling, but I usually do tend to ramble on these kind of episodes. But I will do better as the season progresses. So I'll see you all later. Bye.